Hey, good Monday to you. Time once again for RFD Illinois. I'm DeLois Yonke.
I'm Rita Frazier, and you do realize what Monday means, right?
What does Monday mean? Are you talking about the Corner Economist?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Corner Economist. And Mike and I haven't talked very much in the last month or so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me or him or... Probably just scheduling is what the
well,
actual
okay,
issue.
let's call it that.
Because you visited with him recently.
He's fine with me.
Seems to be fine with you. So we'll see how we get through this. That's coming up in a little bit. And, hey, what do you know? There's another story in U.S.-China trade relations.
We'll see. Matt Kay will bring us the latest. And, you know, I know you talked to Jill Johnson, so not only beef, but Illinois pork, and the national pork folks were in D.C. last week. Jerry Woltman, who is with the Illinois pork producers now from the Effingham area, was with them last week, and we'll have a little with her.
Oh, very nice.
Nice and good.
Really very nice and good. And we'll also have the latest weather forecast going into the weekend. The last 8 to 14 showed, again, wetter than average, cooler than average. And that's taken us quite a ways through April at this point. So not a whole lot of progress, unfortunately, thinking about field work and planting and all that. Plus, we'll also have markets from Jim Taylor and a whole lot more coming up on a Monday, RFD Illinois.
With this week's edition of Farm Week, the early word, here's DeLois Yonke.
More Illinois farmers, nearly 72%, responded to USDA's latest ag census than any other state. Find out what farmers reported in the latest edition of Farm Week. Colleen Weir knows how to make popcorn near perfection. Read about her business, Creekstone Kettle Works, and the specialty popcorn flavors she's created in this week's Farm Week. #1 ag publication in Illinois, arriving soon in your mailbox.
No other farm weekly in Illinois has as many people on the ground in Illinois covering Illinois agriculture for you with the depth on key issues to help keep you profitable. And don't forget, you can get daily or even more frequent updates online anytime at farmweeknow.com.
We're back here on RFD Illinois. I'm Rita Frazier. And a historic trade deal between the U.S. and China appears to be very close after negotiators cleared a major hurdle, while prospects for ratifying the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement anytime soon seems dim. RFD Washington correspondent Matt Kay reports.
USDA Secretary Sonny Perdue told Senate Ag appropriators things are looking up for a trade deal between the world's two largest economies, one that could mean much hope for relief from months of punishing tariffs on U.S. farm and other goods.
I'm cautiously optimistic with China. It's never over till it's over, but I think the news was that Secretary Mnuchin feels that they have an enforcement protocol, which has always been the problem in the past, to enforce any agreements on both sides that are made. But the numbers for agriculture are very hopeful and optimistic. If we can consummate a deal with China, it will be extremely good for U.S. agriculture, I think, as well as the U.S. economy.
Contrast that with the picture for ratification for the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, stymied by President Trump's resistance to lifting U.S. metals tariffs and Speaker Nancy Pelosi's insistence on labor law reforms by Mexico. National Pork Producers Trade Chief Nick Giordano says both parties are saying the same thing about the tariffs.
We're not going to vote for this deal if the metal tariffs are still in effect. And of course, that's what Mexico and Canada are saying, that they're not going to move the deal unless the metal tariffs are off. So it puts us in a really difficult position because we're being hammered by the 20% punitive tariff by Mexico. And I repeat, hammered. $12 an animal. That's huge.
Giordano says without USMCA ratification and a continued 20% tariff, the U.S. will lose the entire Mexican market over time, as other pork exporting nations already sell into Mexico at the same tariff rate. For the RFD Radio Network, Matt Kay, Washington.
Pork producers were in the nation's capital last week. Jerry Woltman is now a part of the pork leadership group with the IPPA in the Capitol last week.
So I'm here with the Pork Producers Group, the National Pork Producers Council, and also some other group organizations. And we are here to really be able to talk to our legislators and give them some facts and some information and some asks for our industry, what we see coming down the pipe for different laws that are coming available, or different things that we just think we see a future for and would like them to start looking at.
So some good, solid conversations about issues affecting your industry. You know, while you guys are there, I know you guys have talked about it with the World Pork Expo being canceled. Has that been circulating around, and have you been talking about African swine fever?
We have been, and part of our ask on this trip had to do with Border Patrol and asking for more, not only the Beagle Brigade, but more just physical staff to be able to watch anyone who's coming in from anywhere that has ASF, or even, foot and mouth disease or anything like that. Just really making sure our Border Patrol is watching for all of those diseases.
The other thing, even though you're talking about some pretty hard-hitting issues, you're also able to focus on product and do a lot in the way of bacon and pork promotion.
We are. Tonight we actually have Bacon Fest, and that is something that we invite all of the congressional staff members and congressmen and women to come to. And it really just allows us to promote our products and promote pork in general, but nice little atmosphere for people to talk with their congressmen and to see some of the new inventive products that are out.
So back to your involvement. You, of course, a professional in the pork production industry. You were with Farmwell. Tell us what you do, and then again, why are you there you're volunteering, really, for the pork industry? Tell us about that.
Right. So I am a marketing director for Farmwell, and Farmwell manufactures hog equipment. So basically anything that would touch an animal that is produced on the farm. So feeders, gating, farrowing, nursery, really anything that the producers really need to be able to produce hogs. And so I'm here partially for Pork Leadership Institute, and that is a group of people across the nation who come together to stand up and be leaders in the future for the pork industry. Part of that includes the lobbying and things that we did today, but also meeting with our national representatives for those foreign diseases and for industry trade. Many topics that really affect the pork industry.
Jerry Woltman, again, with the pork producers in the nation's capital last week. If you'd like to find out more about their visit, see pictures, head to the Illinois Pork Producers website. Let's break. DeLoss is back with the Corner Economist. This is RFD Illinois.
Hello. I'm Trooper Teal with the Illinois State Police. April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. According to the most recent report from the National Highway Safety Administration, 394,450 people were either injured or killed in distracted driving-related incidents. Avoid distractions while driving, such as talking on your cell phone, texting, eating, and even adjusting the radio. Wear your seatbelt and remember to just drive.
A message from the Illinois Farm Bureau and the Illinois State Police.
Attention corn farmers. Your corn checkoff dollars are working with the U.S. Meat Export Federation to grow red meat export volumes. Because when we're exporting beef, we're also exporting corn. The beef industry consumes 28% of all corn fed to livestock, plus additional corn in the form of DDGs, a co-product of ethanol production. Now that's what we call working an angle. Your checkoff is working corn from all angles. Because of the Illinois Corn Marketing Board, your profitability is our bottom line. A message from the Illinois Corn Checkoff.
Welcome back to RFD Illinois on a Monday. I'm DeLoss Yonke with the Corner Economist, Mike Doherty, Senior Economist at Illinois Farm Bureau. Hello, Mike.
Hey, DeLoss.
So, Census of Agriculture, I've given quite a few stats just from a national perspective. Let's talk about Illinois, which, by the way, was the number one responding census state in the country. Hats off. How about that?
Hats off, woohoo. Let's thank the farmers who filled out their census forms in Illinois, because you have us standing out on the map of all 50 states for having the highest response rate of completed USDA census forms of any state in the United States. Congratulations.
That's very good.
Very good.
Top 10 counties, by the way. Number of farms, 2017. Top 10 counties. Iroquois, LaSalle, McLean, Henry, Livingston, Adams, Fayette, Champaign, Shelby, Effingham. That's an interesting representation of the state. But, you know, one of the stats that was in the national one, still 96% of all farms are family-owned. You have this perception well, every farm's big and everything's huge and, go, go, go and all that. But these numbers in Illinois really refute that kind of perception.
They do. The census really reaffirms that, even just talking about Illinois Farm Bureau as a farm association, we're the association of family-run businesses. This industry is the biggest aggregation of family-run businesses of any industry I can think of in the United States. It's amazing. And the fact that it's still that way today. You're absolutely right. The census asked about whether it's, investor-owned firms, other kinds of ownership. It was still like over 96% family-owned and controlled farms here in Illinois. So very much a family-run business, of an industry based on family-run businesses.
And the number of farms, 500 acres or fewer, is just remarkable. It's not as many as there were 5 years ago, but still, 10 to 49 acres, 50 to 179, 180 to 499 is still the lion's share of farms in the state.
That's right. In terms of total, the numbers, as a percentage of total number of farms, they are the bulk of them.
Now, having said that, here's the interesting things. The two categories that increased were 2,000 acres or more.
Yes.
But even that wasn't even 2,000. I mean, it wasn't even 200.
No, it was interesting to me that the highest the USDA survey goes up to is 2,000 acres or more. Mm-hmm. So that after that, you're up to, you could be a 10,000 acre farm and you'd fall into that category. And what we were looking for there, DeLoss, was, were we going to see the big leap of a large number of farms graduating, so to speak, into that 2,000 acre farm size and up? A big number of them, as happened between the censuses before the 2012 census. We had a fairly significant increase. It did not happen. It came out to if you divide it out, it was less than a 2% per year increase in that 2,000 acre category and up. In other words, we did not have a rapid fire number of farms getting bigger in Illinois. In fact, if anything, our consolidation, it looks like the consolidation rate in farming in Illinois slowed down over the last 5 years.
Meanwhile, the other category that went up was between 1 and 9 acres. And gained right around 2,000 in just 5 years.
Now you're talking my size of farm. I think I can afford one of those 9 acre farms. But yes, the growth in specialty crops, the growth in direct marketing, in locally owned foods, it looks like, we don't have the background yet on this, but it sure looks like that's what's played a role in this rather significant increase in these farms. They've been filing as farms. They responded to a USDA survey as a farm, and they were under 9 acres.
So why does the implement dealer have a 24, 28, 40 horsepower tractor at the dealership? There you go. That's one of the reasons why. The other one that was interesting, value of production, crops versus livestock. Yep. 20 years ago, 76% of that value came from crops, 24% came from livestock. In 2017, 81% crops, 19% livestock, which was similar to 5 years ago and also just shows, the diversified farm of cows, hogs, chickens, that sort of thing isn't what we saw 20 and certainly, generations ago.
We're definitely more specialized either in livestock or in grain and oilseed production. However, what was surprised me about this one, DeLoss, was that from the 2012 census to the 2017 census, over those 5 years, Illinois percentage of total sales that came from livestock actually increased. Most people would never have guessed that. So it actually increased from 18% of total sales of ag products in Illinois to 19% of total sales of ag products in Illinois over the last 5 years.
Farm-related income, significant change in here. So these kind of stats are quite interesting, but net income, but you know what, you would expect that. 2012 to 2017. 2012, that was the drought year, but we still had crop insurance. But that just shows you where we were that last 5 year period to where we were in 2017. You would expect those numbers to be down.
Yes, I mean, you got to keep in mind the Census of Ag is done every 5 years, and it's a snapshot report. So it's not accumulative for the 5 years. It is that year. So it's a snapshot of what was true in year 2012, which was a huge drought, but also high farm income, and then what was true in 2017, which was high production and a little bit a totally different picture, really, on farm income and different prices.
Last stat in here, and then we got to go. Top expenses in 2017: cash rent, seed, fertilizer, chemicals, feed. Those are the top 5.
Not too surprising there, especially in terms of cash rent up there and seed and chemicals. And I especially noted those chemical costs, I think, have gone up as a percentage.
And the number 9 in there in expenses was interest. Mike Doherty, Senior Economist at the Illinois Farm Bureau. We'll break now for markets and weather.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Monday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn steady, bean steady, and wheat ending Friday higher. May corn closing at $3.61, up a penny. July corn up 3/4, $3.69.5, and September corn up 3/4, $3.77.5. May beans closing at $8.95 1/4, unchanged. July beans unchanged, $9.08 3/4, and August beans $9.14 1/4. Down 1/4. May wheat closing at $4.64.5, up 4. July wheat up 3, $4.68.5, and September wheat $4.75 1/4, up 2 1/4. May bean meal ending Friday $3.07.90, up 70 cents. May bean oil $28.95, down 3 pennies. In current electronic overnight trading, May corn up 1 3/4, July corn up 2 1/4, and September corn up 2 1/4, $3.79 3/4. May beans in the overnight up 3 1/4, July beans up 3 1/4, August beans up 3, $9.17 1/4. May wheat in the overnight down 2 1/2, July wheat down 3, and September wheat $4.72 3/4, down 2 1/2. In the outside markets, June Brent crude oil $71.55, up 72 cents a barrel. The June gold contract down $5.40 this morning, $12.89.80. In the livestock market from Friday, April lean hogs $79.30, up 7 cents. May lean hogs $89.60, up 1.20. April live cattle $126.55, that's up 55 cents. June live cattle $121.45, up 102. April feeders from Friday $145.42, unchanged. May feeder cattle $150.50, up 65 cents. Illinois direct barrels and gilts trading weak on Friday at 46 to 56. That's the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Monday morning. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather with the early morning ag weather update on the RFD Radio Network for this Monday morning. Dry weather returned to Illinois late last week into early this past weekend as last week's system finally moved eastward out of the Midwest. Daytime highs on Saturday were in the 50s over a large part of the state. Another system moved in quickly from the southwest, though, and brought some rain and snow to the state. Later Saturday night through Sunday, melted precipitation amounts in the 1/4 to 1 inch range were fairly common across Illinois from this system, with some lighter amounts in the northwest part of the state, and a band of significant snow in the 2 to 6 inch range occurred from sections of west central into parts of northern Illinois during the day Sunday. Daytime highs were held into the upper 30s and 40s over a large part of Illinois yesterday due to the clouds and precipitation, with some warmer readings in the southeast. This latest system moved northeastward away from the state later Sunday into Sunday evening. Dry weather is expected across most of Illinois today into Tuesday, along with improving drying conditions this afternoon and Tuesday. Daytime highs today will warm back into the 50s and 60s across most of the state, with readings on Tuesday reaching the 60s and 70s. A long dry period is not expected, though, as rain and thunderstorms will likely make a return to the region later this week. Southerly winds ahead of this next system will keep temperatures above normal across Illinois on Wednesday, but as this system moves eastward, cooler air will again make a return to the region late this week, dropping temperatures back below normal. Rainfall amounts from this next system for mid to late this week will likely be in the 1/2 inch to 1.5 inch range across much of Illinois and surrounding areas. Some dry time will return to the region this upcoming weekend, with warmer temperatures making a return. 6 to 10 day temperatures should average fairly close to normal across Illinois, with 6 to 10 day rainfall near to a little bit below normal. I'm Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather.
As you prepare for planting season, remember your neighbors. Whether you're an applicator, grower, or beekeeper, use FieldWatch to register your farm and monitor for sensitive sites around you. FieldWatch is a free, easy-to-use online mapping tool. Consulting FieldWatch is now a requirement for the over-the-top use dicamba products. Communicating with your neighbors will help you protect your farm and the environment. Don't wait. Go online to fieldwatch.com. Growing agriculture, we grow best together.
Does the warmer weather have you itching for a weekend getaway? Take your Illinois Farm Bureau membership savings with you.
Farm Bureau members can save up to 20% at choice hotels, including favorites like Comfort Suites, Sleep Inn, Quality Inn and Suites, with even more to choose from.
Call 800-258-2847 or visit the Choice Hotels website to search all the hotels at once and to make advance reservations.
Contact your local County Farm Bureau for your discount code number.
All Ag.
All Illinois.
All Now.
There are a lot of smartphone apps out there, but do they have what's important to us here in Illinois? The Farm Week Now app does, and it's always at your fingertips. All Ag, all Illinois, and 24/7 where and when you need it for free. Go to your app or Play Store on your smartphone, hit search, type in Farm Week Now, that's one word, and download it today. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where we're all about farm, family, and food.
RFD Radio Network's Jim Taylor connects rural routes for you. You can trust Jim every morning for your overnight markets. He gets up early to help keep farmers on top of their game. Here's a bit about his rural routes.
I have the opportunity to cover something different every day and provide listeners with up-to-date markets, news they need to do their job and be successful, from legislative issues to crop updates and weather, of course.
Be it routes or routes, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
That'll do it for RFD Illinois on a Monday.
You said recently you ran into some folks from Root House, which
yes.
Stirred my memory back to way back when. Went swimming with Michelle Hatcher and family at the Root House Reservoir.
Oh, boy.
And we slid in because geese and ducks and whatnot had lived on the beach.
And that wasn't enough to keep you out of the reservoir.
And that was that.
Oh, my goodness. The things we did as youth to entertain ourselves, right?
That's right.
Oh, boy. Population 1,800 in Greene County.
Greene County.
Sponsored by Country. Visit countrycrop.com for more information. I'm DeLoss Yonke.
I'm Rita Frazier for Jim Taylor. Have a great day.